Enumerable Busia for Mama Joe, Mama Quaba, and above fast, and remain so Cassia Bossum, the name you made and some Yabesha say if or Memo Rashibi be free, Ghana for to sound for and no and some above so abundant. Sasuna NDC Amono, my friends and job when she with the Enranda, and Munchi with Baba Somo, it will be Manso, a Democratic Republic of Congo, almost the Honson Eba Somo. Ye train Huaba, ye buy some chibu, or Betsy and some chibu, no more stop for that in Master on my uncle Bia, they should call them the Ensemble and memory. For me, shall some Nasa Jenna if you my moon, a shebbe, a young gun, a young photo sound for or Ken, what for re atom and no the instant about so abundant, or may move up of Massica, and or the better abundant, or may moon, a shebbe, the free one crime, yes, and some my ra, Ken for atom and to Ghana for any.
Public debt development. Mr. Speaker, our public debt management program for the 2019 financial year was successfully executed despite challenges from the global and the domestic economy. As at end December 2019, the total gross public stock stood at $217.9 billion, $39.3 billion. Of this amount, external debt amounts to $112.5 billion Ghana cedis, or $20.3 billion US dollars, while domestic debt amounts to 105 billion cedis, or 19 billion US dollars. The debt GDP ratio as of December 2019 was 62.4%, up from 57.6% at end December 2018, reflecting the impact of the financial sector bailout costs and the energy sector payments. Mr. Speaker, 2019 was a good year. Inflation at 7.9%, growth at 6.5%, deficit at 4.8%, positive price balance, and an improved reserve cover. Macroeconomic performance from January 2020 to June 2020. Mr. Speaker, with that backdrop, we felt set to have a great 2020. Let me now have a report on the macroeconomic performance for the first half of 2020. Mr. Speaker, the following macroeconomic targets were set for 2020. Overall GDP growth rate of 6.8%, non-oil real GDP growth rate of 6.7%, NPL inflation rate of 8%, overall fiscal deficit 4.7%, primary surplus of 0.7% of GDP, and gross international reserves to cover at least 3.5 months of imports of goods and services. Growth. Mr. Speaker, provisional estimates released by Ghana Statistical Service shows that overall GDP growth was 4.9% in the first quarter 2020 compared to 6.7% over the same period in 2019. Growth in the non-oil sector was 4.9% compared to 6% in the corresponding period of 2019. The agricultural sector recorded a growth of 2.8% in the first quarter of 2020 compared to 2.2% during the same period in 2019. Industry sector recorded a growth of 1.5% in the first quarter of 2020 compared to 8.4% during the same period in 2019 because of massively decreased oil exports. Growth in the services sector was strong at 9.5% in the first quarter of 2020 compared to 7.2% recorded during the same period in 2018.
Ken ofori ata etwane sim e wo my Ghana mu eye ID card asese edinsure egusu a eye adwuma no omwatimi aye Ghana card eno so omwatimi abanbo sense omudi aba ebeboa mmabu ene omwatimi ebi omudwuma na so mdo sa ye adwuma no ni na egu akwam omwatimi eye yenti eno so mu ensem.
This has translated into 2.2 billion in savings. That is money that the state has put back into the pockets of Ghanaians all across the country and investments for the state for their future. We have also invested in excess of $1.6 billion in 100,000 jobless but educated young adults who had been ignored by the state and in despair. Through the new NAPCO initiative, they have been engaged in various state and private institutions, with some of them securing permanent jobs in the process. That is money in the pockets of our youth. Mr. Speaker, from the onset, this government had determined that Ghana will be self-sufficient in food production through our Planting Food and Jobs program, and would add value to what we produce as well. Create jobs along the value chain under the 1D1F program, which has currently over 70 factories in production, with many more at various stages of construction. So far, we invested over $1.85 billion in our agriculture sector, resulting in agricultural growth which averaged about 2% between 2014 and 2016 to an average of 5.2% over the past 3 years. That is putting food in abundance on the table of Ghanaians, reducing cost of living, and putting money in the pocket of 1.2 million farmers nationwide. We have, Mr. Speaker, relegated Dumso to past. It is clear to our Ghanaians by now that we have enjoyed 3.5 years of reliable and cheaper power. We have spent in excess of $4.7 billion on capacity payments, not only to ensure that we keep the lights on, but also to pay for power we do not use and are very questionable contractual obligations we inherited. Mr. Speaker, to modernize the economy and improve its global competitiveness, we embark on a transformative agenda to digitalize the economy. We implemented a digital addressing system and the national ID programs to ensure that each Ghanaian and their dwellings, as well as business locations, will be uniquely identified. These efforts are being made to formalize the economy, improve the way services were delivered to our people, and increase productivity. That is digitizing the lives of Ghanaians. Now more than ever, the possibilities of the digital economy has been brought to the fore.
NDC for Australia, NDC for Ashes and our Tridiano, friends and Truffle Shemudin, and Shemudin when a toss watching or Mona watching Shemudin Lassen, and when it's and Truffle in Punin Pun and Saman, or money to St. Truffle in any say, I'll feed your cane cake. A banner dear, and I said, when I send the NDC for an air more, and to what they ask them up to Ghana, and then say, Shen one and who such a home ferry, so one play my Israel for Elcom with us as a partner, so wash us and send Shen one and was a yes, on Bettina was said in the book of Neza, a trade up for a and
The National Democratic Congress takes this opportunity to salute all its gallant supporters, parliamentary candidates, agents, and our rank and file for standing up to these cowardly acts of intimidation being championed by state officials and their criminal elements, and in some cases, with active involvement of state security officials. We urge our members not to despair, for as sure as day follows night, good shall definitely triumph over evil. The great NDC party is winning the 2020 general elections, no matter the amount of violence the state and ethnics think they can marshal through political power. You know, when your time is up, some of the things they are doing doesn't even make sense. You know, this is Pharaoh behavior. This is Nebuchadnezzar behavior. When your time comes, God allows you to be foolish. So this is Pharaoh. Let my people go. He won't listen. Disaster will strike them on the 7th of December. They can go and bring Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, or the Salafist, anybody. 7th December, they will go. We hereby urge all NDC supporters to defend themselves in line with the spirit of our 1992 Constitution against any violent attacks by the MPP and government-sponsored goons. We further wish to sound a note of caution to some state security officials who had lent themselves as willing and pliant agents of violence against political opponents and innocent Ghanaians. We wish to remind them that power emanates from the people and nothing lasts forever. And hence, whatever power they exercise today must be done in the supreme interest of the Ghanaian people.
Emma communication director the NDC amono kono sameje mfi so e kasa no o chere sen Ghana ha se e kamia se yimu pan no Ghana ha se to monipa e kasa ma eni kwan kra se na no keke mpo ko be kasa no ni ya friend no e police station na oba be na no nanso era madam Mrs. Osa Mavis o mama be ba ko Mavis Kumsin Hawa en some of kan ye was saying o chere mu pa dia aya posifo dwuma ese komoye no kuma anya se dwuma no Omwanga se no tutu omonnan ene ko ma me ni fie emra na se komutimi frɛ ma me no no be na no wosa ensem oyeye no ana se nyama oyeye no mo antimi anya sa ene na odi adesede to Ghana man panyina nim se tan nyama na ekɔ so man Ghana mu di ano ode pa eye se di emra no eto ba bia emra no efata ne yeto ensem no so de na na abakofo e de ne jesem ene oman mu eye afisem e ba besomiye